Tomorrow is a very special day for me. Tomorrow is the last day that I will ever be attending a Pokemon tournament at the very first game store I went to play Pokemon. This was where everything started, where I learned about the game, where people taught me like how to play and what kind of decks to build and all that kind of stuff, and where I went for multiple tournaments on end for the past year. And tomorrow is the last day that I will be attending a tournament there, most likely, because I'm moving away. And so, in light of that, I wanted to do something special. And coincidentally, tomorrow is an expanded format tournament, which means you can use cards from older sets and not just the ones in standard. So, I have decided to build this deck. I call it Tribute Zard. And so, you guys know me, I've been playing Zard for a long time, and I've been playing straight Zard for as long as I can remember in the Pokemon TCG. For like the past year, I've only been playing Zard, and I've just very recently switched to playing Dragapult Zard. But I wanted to make this deck as kind of sort of trip down memory lane, looking back at everything that I've gone through in my adventure to where I am now. Every single card in this deck is extremely special to me for some reason or other. Every card in this deck has some kind of memory or special moment attached to it. And I want to show you guys this deck, and I'm going to be playing in the tournament tomorrow, and I'm going to try and record all my games and show you guys the very last tournament that I spend at Epic Games and More. So, let's take a look at the deck list. Obviously, this is a Charizard deck, but it is very unorthodox because there's a lot of stuff that don't seem very optimal, but honestly, I don't really care because I just wanted to play something that really kind of reflects my 1 year long Pokemon experience. So, obviously, we have 3 Charmander to start things off. This one was part of the very first order that I placed for Pokemon cards. I didn't know this at the time, but this is a promo Charmander with Heat Tackle. It's got a decent attack, but I mainly just like it because of the hollow effect, which is really nice. This one is, of course, the 70 HP Charmander that everyone uses from 151. And I was looking for these for quite a long time when I first started out. But yeah, that's just kind of standard one. And this one is a Charmander from, I don't know which set this is, probably Vivid Voltage or something. It's from a D block set. And it looks really cute, and I really like it. It's got an also good attack collect that just says draw a card. It's not the best thing ever, but it's still pretty good for 1 energy. But the reason why this one's special to me is because I remember one day I was at this gacha machine at the store that I'm going to go to, Epic Games and More, and I was looking for tournament legal cards, like specifically Charmander, and I didn't know which blocks were legal. I was just like, okay, let me just find one with a regulation mark on it, and then I ended up pulling this Charmander. I have 2 of them actually, but since I'm only running 3 in the deck, I decided to run 1 of these and 2 of the other ones. So yeah, this one's like pretty special to me, for that reason specifically, and yeah, I was never able to run it in an actual tournament because D block was a very long time ago, but tomorrow is the day that I'll finally be able to play this in a deck. Now, next up on the list, we have 1 Charmeleon. This Charmeleon is very special to me as well. This reverse hollow one from Paldean Fates. Of course, it's got that Flare Veil ability, which everyone knows for stopping Dragapult and Devo and all that good stuff. But the reason why this one's special is because I've had it in my deck for so long. I never actually bought the shiny one. No matter how much I have played the deck and how many expensive cards I have bought for Zard, I never upgraded this one. And so this one stayed a reverse hollow for so long. This has gone to Toronto, it's gone to Vancouver, it's gone to so many tournaments and cups, and it's still here, still like in the deck, and that's why I wanted to keep it for this next tournament. Now next we have Charizard EX. We are running this one because this one was also part of the same order that I had, which also had this little Charmander in it, and I just really like this one. It's just got such a special place in my heart because I ordered 2 of these, and then there was one of the normal Terra Charizard EXs. Um, so yeah, obviously it's just a normal Zard with the Infernal Rain ability and the Burning Darkness attack. Just really good card to have. Um, but then we have another Charizard EX, which was also part of the same order, but this one is the one from 151. And this one I actually did run in the deck. I had 3 of these ones and 1 of this. And in tomorrow's tournament, I am definitely going to be running 1 of each for the list, just because like I haven't run this in a tournament in so long, and I haven't even played this like on live or anything in such a long time, and I'm so excited to be trying out this Charizard again for the first time in basically forever. It might seem a little bit weird, it might seem a little bit funny that I'm running this, but you know what? It's just a really important piece of my Pokemon history, so definitely excited to be running both of these types of Charizard. Now next up, we have the Pidgeot line. We are running 2 Pidgey, one of which is the 60 HP one, and one of which is the 50 HP. At the time that I started, the 50 HP one was optimal because Dragapult didn't exist yet, but now the 60 HP is better. You can also run one of each. Some lists were running one of each, but most of the time they did stick with the 60 HP ones, just to fix math a little bit. Call for Family is a decent attack. I used it a couple times on live, even in person as well. So yeah, excited to run 2 of these, but nothing too special about these. Then there's one Pidgeotto. I was considering cutting the Pidgeotto altogether because at the time that I was playing, running 2 Pidgeot and 2 Pidgey was optimal with no Pidgeotto, but I decided to run 1 because the very first list I made did have a Pidgeotto, and so yeah, just wanted to keep that in there. And then we have 2 Pidgeot EX. These 2 are, I picked the ones that were the most special to me. This normal one, I got it at a store called Hang and Play Video Games. And this was actually the very first store I went to. The only issue is that they don't run League, at least not yet. But they did have this Pidgeot, and I bought it for like $10. And yeah, it was really nice. Very useful to have. I did have to buy another one, but having the first one was already a huge step. I don't know if this is the exact one that I had, but you know, I don't think there's any real way of telling. So that was the first one I ever got, and then this one I got it in Toronto, and you guys can probably remember this from my Toronto recap video, where I said that I bought this along with the SIR Charizard as well. So yeah, definitely want to run that in the deck along with the normal one. Now, next, we have Bidoof and Bibarel. I have missed this card a lot. This card is one of my favorite cards from the F block. Once during your turn, you may draw cards until you have 5 in your hand. It's a pretty good ability. Unfortunately, it is on a stage 1 with the 2 retreat cost, which is kind of annoying, but I played this card so much, and it's just like, I've grown such a huge love for it, and not just the Bibarel line, but I'm also running 1 Squovit as well. So this allows you to shuffle your hand and put it on the bottom of your deck and then draw 1 card. So basically you can just, you know, bring your hand down to 1 and then draw up to 5 with the Bibarel, which is really, really good. And I actually did run this combo at a League Cup, my very first League Cup that I went to at Everything Games. And that tournament was really nice. It was the first League Cup that I ever went to, and I actually made top cut using Squovit and Bibarel, and so I really wanted to like pay tribute to that by keeping it in this list as well. And the reason why I decided to run the Squovit at the time was because of Tord Reclev. He played it at Worlds, he played the Squovit along with the Bibarel engine, and so I just want to try and pay tribute to that and go back to playing Squovit and Bibarel instead of Dusknoir. So this list does not have Dusknoir. I cut it for some other stuff. Then, of course, we have the usual supports. We got Rotom V to draw 3 cards going first, or just to end your turn. Lumineon V to search for a supporter. This one has a stamp on it, which is pretty cool. I got this from trading with a friend. And then Fez. I was actually considering cutting Fez from the deck, just because it's such a generic card. Everyone uses it these days. But then I realized, like, even if I'm not planning on winning my games this tournament, I still want to add it because it's just like such a good card. And also I did run it at the cup as well, so you know, why not? It's just a good card to have, just to draw an extra 3 cards. Then we have the Radiant Charizard. Obviously this card is very good. It's kind of a shame that it rotated, but it is a very good card. As a late game attacker, for 1 energy you can do 250 damage if your opponent is on 2 prize cards, which is insanely good. And yeah, just really, really good stuff that you can do with Radiant Charizard. Um, all around great card, not much to say there. Then we have the first ever Cleffa that I ran in my deck. I still remember the day that I played this. It was at Epic Games and More, and I found this in a bulk box because they didn't have them in their bulk boxes at the time. But then one day I checked, and they had recently gotten new stock, and they had one of the Cleffa, and I bought one. I played it that day. I think my first round was against the Tinkaton EX. It was really cool, and Cleffa like stayed in play for so many turns because I was bricking, unfortunately. But that's beside the point, okay? Cleffa is just a really good card. One of my favorite cards ever because it's my favorite Pokemon, and running the original one, like just a normal Cleffa from Resilient Flames, is just gonna be really nice. I was originally gonna put the full art one in the deck because I have a couple of those, but then I decided it's much better to just run the normal one just for the memories and just for the time that I had run that so long ago. Now we have some really unorthodox things that I'm going to show you guys. First of all is this Heatran card. There is absolutely nothing special about this Heatran, but I found it at Hang and Play Games when I was looking through their bulk. I was looking for stuff to make a deck with, and this really caught my eye because it was really shiny, and I think I paid like $4 to $6 for it. I don't remember how much exactly, and it was probably not a good idea because I was pretty low on cash at the time, but I still decided to buy this card just because it was so pretty. Its attacks are not that great, but I really want to run it in the tournament tomorrow because it just reminds me so much of like that very first day that I went to Hang and Play. And I'll talk about it a little bit more when I get to some other cards in the deck. But yeah, this very important card to me. I actually haven't seen it in a long time. I kept it in a random box, but I opened that box today to look for some older cards to put in the deck, and I just remembered this, and I was like, I have to play this now. Um, and then we have a Kangaskhan EX. Now, this is a very, very, very unusual card to see. It is an EX, a basic, that has the triple draw attack that just allows you to draw 3 cards. But the second attack, Incessant Punching, says flip 4 coins and does 100 damage for each heads, which is not that great of an attack. But what makes this special is that I bought the EX battle deck for Kangaskhan EX on the day that I was looking for a bunch of cards to build decks with. So I think I went to Epic first, and then I went to a mall, and I went to a GameStop there, and then I bought this and the Melmetal EX deck as well. But this is the one that really stood out to me just because it's a really cool card. It's really cute, and the attack just seems really fun to use. So I'm gonna have a blast just playing this. Like loading it up with Charizard, attaching 3 fire energy to it. That's gonna be so fun, and yeah, just really, really nice memories there of when I was just starting out. Now that's all the Pokemon in the list. I can actually just put them all on screen real quick. So we got the Charmanders. There's 3 of them there. Then we have the 2 Zard. Where's the Charmeleon gone? Charmeleon was somewhere here. Yeah, there it is. Well, the 2 Pidgey, 1 Pidgeotto, and 2 Pidgeot EX. We have the Squovit and the Bibarel line, Rotom and Lumineon, Cleffa, Fez, and Radzard, and then we have our Heatran and Kangaskhan EX as our Pokemon in the deck. Now that we have that, let's move on to supporters. Alright, so in terms of supporters, this is nothing too special, but we have 4 Arven, 2 Iono, 2 Boss, just like normal stuff, right? I was thinking of running 3 Iono, but I couldn't really fit the 3rd one, but it's okay because I don't think we need the 3rd one just yet. And then we have 1 Turo. I've done so many Turo plays, even back when I was like just starting out. So yeah, definitely wanted to keep the Turo in there. And then we have a Thornton as well. This card is really good because if your Pidgey or your Charmander get knocked out on the bench, you can just switch in one of your other basics like Rotom or Lumineon, turn them into a Pidgey or Charmander, and then Rare Candy and evolve them just like that. It is really, really strong. It's a really good card. It's even like stronger if you use Lumineon to search for it. Then you pop Forest Seal, search for what you need, then play Thornton out the Lumineon, and then you have a Pidgey, evolves a Pidgeot, now you have a Pidgeot with Forest Seal. it's this whole thing, but it's just a really good card. I played this at the cup that I played Squirtle Barrel in for the first time, and I just thought it was such an amazing card. I really miss the card in this format because with the amount of not Charizard, the amount of Dragapult going around right now, it would be really nice to just switch out one of your basics for something you need and just evolve it. Um, but yeah, just really good card. Definitely wanted to fit the Thornton in there for sure. Now, let's take a look at items. So we have 4 Buddy Buddy Poffin. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention about the supporters real quick. It's nothing that big, but like the play stamp and like the shiny hollow play stamp cards, those were what really kept me going because that was the only bling that I could afford. I just went to tournaments and pulled what I could from the prize packs and played those, and that's why it's special to me. Same thing with these Poffins, because these Poffins are league promos. They only gave them out for a little while during last summer, and I managed to get as many of them as I possibly could. I think I have like maybe like 10 of these Poffins, and so yeah, this was like the only bling that I could afford at the time. So definitely wanted to rep the League promo Poffins. In the same vein, we have 2 League promo Super Rods as well. Because at the time they were giving out the Poffins and the Super Rods, so very, very important to pay tribute to those. Now, in terms of other items, we have 4 Ultra Ball. This gold one is very important to me. I have 3 of them in my other list, and the 4th one is here. And the special thing about this is that every time I would make top cut at a cup, for some reason the store would always have one of these in stock, so I'd use my store credit that I won from the cup to buy an Ultra Ball. And so these Ultra Balls have kind of become trophies of mine for making top cut in a League Cup, which is really, really cool. Of course, we got some like League promo, not League promo, the Play Stamp Ultra Balls here. And this one is like an older one. I don't remember who gave this to me. But yeah, it's just like an older play stamped Ultra Ball right here. We have 1 Nest Ball. Couldn't really find room to add a second one, but yeah, just 1 Nest Ball in here. I think Todd played one at his UIC list, Then we have 4 Rare Candy right here. 2 of these are the normal play stamped ones. This one's the one from Pokemon Go, and I really like this one because I used to play a lot of Pokemon Go. Even around the time that I started out with TCG, I was still pretty heavily into Go. And this one I found at Hang and Play, I think. I don't remember. I definitely found this. Oh no, actually I think this one I traded for an okay price. I think it was a Super Rod of the same like style that I found at Hang and Play, but this one I traded for. But yeah, there's 4 Rare Candy. Then we have 1 Counter Catcher. This is a League Cup one. I traded for this one, but I've been using this for such a long time in my Zard decks until I got the gold one. So now I use the gold one in my Zard Pult, but I wanted to rep this one. And one thing I really like about this Counter Catcher specifically, and not the new one, is that it kind of reminds me of the Sploosh-O-Matic from Splatoon. Because of the like brown background and the kind of nozzle here. It's really, really cool. And that's why it's really special to me. Lost Vacuum. Not that much to say about it, just a really good card. I wish this was still in standard. It was so good. To be able to like get rid of any tool, any stadium, so convenient. Then we have a Pal Pad. This is pretty nice, especially considering we're only running 2 Iono. Having the Pal Pad in there just to help you out is pretty great. And I always ran a Pal Pad in my lists until much later in my time playing Pokemon. And then for the A-Spec, we're running Prime Catcher. And Prime Catcher is very special to me for so many reasons. First of all, this was what was extensively played in Charizard before Unfair Stamp came out. Most people were playing Prime Catcher. Some people were playing Hero's Cape and Maximum Belt, but typically people would play Prime Catcher. But another reason why this one's special to me, and this I know is the exact card, but I pulled this out of the I think it was the second ever pack that I bought ever. I was at Hang and Play. I bought a pack of Temporal Forces. I opened the Prime Catcher, and I looked it up online, and it was going for like $35, and I felt so happy. And that was so special. I still have pictures of me pulling the card, and it was just so good. And I ran this in the deck like for so long, even after Unfair Stamp was deemed better than Prime Catcher as an ace spec. I kept running Prime Catcher just because it was so like good and it meant so much to me. And so definitely want to play Prime Catcher in the tournament. I've actually gone back to playing Prime Catcher in like my Charizard Dragapult list, or my Dragapult Charizard list now. But that's for other reasons, and also I have a stamped Prime Catcher now, but I wanted to run this one specifically in the tournament that's tomorrow. Now that's it for the items. Now we have some like smaller things left, like tools and stadiums. So in terms of tools, we're running a Defiance band, just pretty good. I don't think this is the first ever Defiance band I had because I pulled this one from a prize pack. But this was definitely like the time that I like it took me so long to realize this, but they didn't make hollow versions of this, and I was keeping this in the deck until I would find a hollow play stamped Defiance band, but never found it because they never printed it. So I just kept this in here. I think I have another one of them. But yeah, it's a good card. Definitely good to have in the deck. And then we have one TM Evo. They also made a league promo of this. They made that one a little bit later, but I really liked using TM Evo. I didn't use it that much in my time playing Zard, especially not early on, because that was the time where Rare Candy, Pidgeot Rare Candy Zard was a big thing. You could just go Rotom for it, and Badoo wasn't in the format, so there wasn't any real obligation to go TM Evo into Pidgeotto or something. Now, one thing that I remember doing at a couple tournaments was I would go TM Evo, Pidgeotto, Barrel, which was pretty strong. But yeah, other than that, there's not too much to say about it. Another reason why I wanted to add the TM Evo is because it's just in a lot of like beginner Zard decks, like the pre-built Zard on Live, the one that you can get like the League Battle deck. They all have TM Evo, so it's just nice to have. And also in a format with Badoo, like you might as well have it, right? That's pretty good. Then we are running a Forest Seal Stone. My favorite card to get prized. This gets prized every game. But when it doesn't get prized, it's a really good card because it lets you search for anything by just attaching it to a Pokemon V, which is pretty good. So yeah, just definitely keeping that in the list for sure. And then as our stadium, I don't have a collapsed stadium anymore. I might look for one from one of my friends when I get to the tournament. But until then, I've got a Magma Basin right here. And this Magma Basin can be pretty useful for like the Heatran or maybe for the Charizard EX, like the one from 151. Or like anything really. It's just a good card. It also kind of reminds me of the time that I was playing Entei in Zard. I made a video about that as well, but I don't think that list had Magma Basin. I do remember testing it out though and really liking it, so maybe this can be good as well. And it's a pretty decent stadium to have in the list altogether. And that's basically the list, and it gets topped off with 6 beautiful fire energy. So each of these energies also has something special to do with them. Going in order, this one is Prize Pack, because of course the only bling that I could get, I don't know if you can see the sparkles from this. You can kind of see them. But yeah, that's the only bling I could afford once again, Prize Pack stuff. Then back in my like starting phase of Pokemon, Prize Pack Series 4 was still around, so you could open a Prize Pack and you could get some of these older energies, and these look really sparkly, and I think the effect with them looks really nice. The only problem that people seem to have is that they have a yellow border, but honestly, that's like an okay payoff for me because they're so sparkly and so pretty, and I love these ones. And these guys, now this one is just like the normal one. I don't know if you can tell the difference on camera, but this one has a very like blurry kind of hollow pattern if you see it, whereas this one's a lot sharper. And this one apparently was from a Ho-Oh battle deck of some kind, if my sources are correct. They're impossible to find values for because they don't have set numbers, and I think it says like 2013 Pokemon, which is the same as what's on this one, and this one goes for $1. So I got these for $1 each at Vancouver, but honestly, I don't know if they're worth more than $1. I don't know if they are worth like exactly $1 or something, but I want to run the 3 different kinds of them as well as these other types of energy, just as a reminder of all the different lovely energy that I have always run in my list. And aside from that, that is pretty much the entire list. Let me just see if I can like bunch up everything real quick because they're all, I'm gonna put them in a very untidy pile. But yeah, that is pretty much my tribute Zard list. And I am very, very excited to be running this list at the tournament tomorrow. I think it's going to be a really fun time to be able to try out my old strategies again and just really remember what it was like to play an old list like this. And honestly, it's kind of bittersweet that I'm going to be leaving this place because I've made so many memories, so many good friends. I've gone to so many tournaments, and I'm not stopping playing Pokemon anytime soon. But I think I definitely want to play something like this at tomorrow's tournament because I think it's the perfect celebration for my time here playing Pokemon. So I've sleeved it up, I've got the deck, and we're going to take it to the tournament tomorrow and see how we do.